Our guest today is Adam Weisell, the executive chef of the cooking school over at Eataly in Chicago. If you haven't been to Eataly, by the way, you got to go check it out. But this is just for the classes, right? Not for the restaurants.
It's just for classes. We have between 3 and 6 classes a week. We also do a lot of private events out of there, and banquets and receptions.
Ever work with Trout over at Eataly?
We had Trout in the fish restaurant Pesce. Their menu for a while. But I don't think it's on there anymore, so not in a bit.
Well, you're in luck because today is Trout.
All right.
It's the ingredient challenge today, and you get to choose 5 ingredients beyond the trout, right?
That's exactly right.
We don't count oil, salt, or pepper?
No, those are given.
Okay.
Everybody's got those in their
That's
homes.
helpful.
Yes, exactly.
And you get 15 minutes to make something that we typically want to make at home on a weeknight, right? Not too complicated.
And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do trout, because it's a piece of fish that is pretty accessible to everyone, and it cooks really fast.
Right.
Okay, ready to start?
I'm ready.
Time on the clock is 15 minutes.
Okay.
Begin now.
All right.
Okay.
So this is this a sustainable trout? Is it a river trout? Is it from Idaho,
Actually,
Wisconsin?
No, this is Wisconsin.
Okay.
This is the one from Rushing Waters in Wisconsin.
I want to see what Adam's doing. So what's your strategy, Adam?
Okay, so I'm going to just do a simple salt crust on the trout. This is something that I've been doing for chefs I've worked for years. We did it at the Beard House when I worked for Sarah Jenkins. We did it for Francis Malman, an Argentinian chef. He's famous for doing this. And it's just, you make this, you mix, it's until you get the consistency of wet sand.
So water and kosher
water
salt?
and salt. There are some people who like to do like a Mount egg whites and do it that way.
Yeah, I'm done with egg whites.
That works well, but this is, that takes time.
That takes time. You only got 15 minutes. Actually, about 14 at this point.
Okay,
so you're making a salt crust. And Rick what are you doing? You filleted it?
No, these trout come already boned, but they're whole with the heads on them. And what I'm doing is to cut the head off and then cut it down the backbone, because I want to get all those tiny little bones out of it. You can just run your fingers across it and feel those bones that are there. So I want to get those out, and I'm going to make 2 fillets out of this. So I've got one of them cut off here, and then that little bit that's got the bones, I'm going to pull on that a little bit to free that up so that I can cut those out, just a little strip.
So we have down the middle. We have the advantage here of video, but if you're just listening to us, you do probably want to check out the technique and check out the video. Go to our website, thefeedpodcast.com, or you can also watch the videos on our Facebook page or YouTube channel at The Feed Podcast. Adam, now what's your strategy? You've got a scissors over there, it looks like.
I got scissors, and I'm just going to do a real quick cleanup of the trout. I just grab the fins. I'm careful not to pierce the skin too much because I need to steam the fish from inside. It's going to use its own moisture to cook. So really what I'm just doing is just taking these little fins that are still on there, and I'm just clipping those off.
And what did you put inside the fish? You actually opened it up?
Yeah, I just opened it up, and I did a few slices of lemon, a sprig of oregano. I was thinking garlic, but now that I'm looking at it, I think that might be a little strong for inside the fish. So I'm just some light aromatics.
Okay, Rick, what are you doing in the skillet?
Okay, I've got some chorizo sausage here, which I guess you could call it cheating because it comes with so many different flavors added to it. It's a pork sausage,
of ingredients.
Fresh. It's a lot of ingredients, but it's readily available to people. So I thought that would be a great thing.
So Adam's got some technique here now. So tell me what you're doing, Adam.
So now I'm just taking that wet sand salt.
Yep.
And I'm just packing it around the fish, and I want to make it is a crust because I'm not looking to season my fish at all with this.
You've laid it on a little, like a baking sheet lined with
some parchment paper.
Parchment, okay.
Parchment paper, wax paper, whatever, as long as it's oven proof. I want to make sure that there's no thin areas where the fish is poking through.
Okay, 10 minutes to go. Rick has now added some sliced onions to his chorizo.
Yeah, I'm going to let those kind of caramelize a little bit. I have 2 flavorings that are going to go in here. One is a dark beer, and I want that for the maltiness. So you have to choose something that's quite malty and doesn't have a whole lot of hops in it for bitterness, because the bitterness would not do well with this kind of a preparation. So I'm using a Negra Modelo because I've got a lot of that dark roasted malt in it, a little splash of Worcestershire, and that'll add depth, and that's all I'm going to do.
Pretty high aggressive heat. I mean, typically you want to go more gentle on onions, or you like to have a pretty high heat for this?
I like the high heat just because it will give you texture and browning at the same time. If you go super low, they just kind of melt. And I want a little texture in them here because that's going to be nice. Remember that trout is a really soft textured fish.
Okay.
So I want to add texture to it.
Okay, 9 minutes to go. Adam, what are you doing with the microplane?
All right, so now I'm going to make something.
I can smell it.
It's an Italian, Sicilian specifically, condiment called salmorillo. And that's actually a word that's made up of many words. I forget the technical term for that, but it comes from salamoia, which is a brine.
So hang on one second, Adam. So
Sure.
Rick, real quickly, you're laying the trout now into a hot skillet.
Filmed with a little bit of olive oil.
Skin side down.
Yes. And I heated the pan so that it was very hot before I put that in.
Okay. Adam, I'm sorry, back to your sauce.
Sure. So it's a brine, a little lemon juice, and then there's salmorillo, so it's oregano and aglio and olio, which means garlic, oil, oregano, and there's some lemon in there and some brine. So it's really like just a Sicilian grilled meat.
Now, the way you said, by the way, there's 8 minutes to go. The way
Sure.
you said oregano.
Yes.
Reminded me, some people on TV, they jump into this Italian accent.
Yes.
When you do your classes at Eataly,
Yes.
do you speak like an Italian or do you speak like Adam Weisell?
So no, the thing is, I actually grew up in Italy, in Rome.
Oh, okay.
And
You can legitimately do that then.
I can do it, yeah. But I didn't because I'm always embarrassed about it. And then they were yelling at me when I started teaching the classes. They were like, "You got to use the accent." I was like, "I just feel awkward." And they're like, "No, you got to do it."
So you're pulling out some herbs?
Now I got some just fresh oregano.
Okay.
Oregano.
All right.
And I'm gonna just give it a quick
Now
mince.
you've got him all like
I know,
he's nervous,
he's nervous.
and stuff
That's
like
okay.
that. Why are you doing that?
You speak how you want to speak. It's all right.
No, fresh oregano.
Hey, somebody that grew up in Rome, he's legit.
Yeah, he's legit. All right, he's legit. All right. 6.5 minutes to go. So it looks like, wow, Rick, the trout cooks pretty quickly.
It does, and you know what? I'm not even going to turn it over.
Okay.
I'm just going to let it cook like this, and then I'm going to serve it skin side up if the skin is as crispy as I want it to be.
Have you turned the heat down at all? Or
No, I've been doing it high.
High, okay.
I've been doing it high.
Yeah, you can
but
see
now
it's
I'm
getting...
going to take it off because it's done enough for me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to serve it crispy skin side up.
Adam's working with the microplane over
Again.
here. The lemon zest.
I got lemon zest. I zested some garlic. I did a little salt water. I did a little lemon juice. I got some Sicilian olive oil here. And I'm just going to mix it until it kind of emulsifies.
Because you're flavoring right now, the flavor you have is basically inside the cavity, which is
Right.
a little bit of sliced lemon
Right.
and some herbs.
Basically.
Yeah.
So I'm just mimicking that.
Okay,
Or echoing it.
Rick
Yeah.
has taken both of his, here comes the Negro Modelo.
Yep.
And you just kind of eyeball that a little
Yeah,
bit.
I just want enough of it to cover the bottom of the pan, and then I'm going to stir this until it all evaporates, so I just get the flavor of it.
Why don't I do this more often? Chorizo, onions, and beer. And then the Worcestershire sauce. That's really,
Yeah,
that's
you know, I like to do that just because it adds another layer of depth.
that's 5 minutes to go. Adam, what are you tossing now a little bit?
So now I got some zucchini. And I'm just tossing it with a little salt, oil, and how does this work? Yeah.
Ground pepper, ground salt.
Yeah.
What are your 5 ingredients,
I
by
don't
the way?
even know.
Besides the trout, you got zucchini,
We're going to skip the pepper.
zucchini,
That's
lemon,
too high-tech.
zucchini, lemon, oregano.
Yes, zucchini, lemon, oregano, garlic, and capers. I got some
right.
saltpetre caper there.
Okay, Rick's chopping up some
This is flat leaf
flat leaf
parsley.
parsley, all right?
That I'm going to mix in.
4 minutes to go. You haven't checked your oven at all. I'm impressed.
No, I got to leave it closed.
Leave it closed.
Trust, it will be done.
People do that. It's sort of like the flipping the burgers. They keep checking and
no,
touching
don't.
them. People open up the oven, right? They don't realize all the heat escape. Now in a skillet, in a cast iron
Cast
skillet,
iron, yeah.
you put in the sliced zucchini.
Sliced zucchini, just, and I didn't put any extra oil in the pan. I
Okay.
really want to get a char.
Okay.
I'm looking for a char on this, and I'm like with the oven. I'm trusting. I'm leaving it alone. I'm not going to mess with it.
Got 3 minutes to go though.
All right.
So I'm guessing
All
you're
right.
going to pull that out at what, 2 minutes probably?
I'm going to look for about that much time.
All right. All right. So 3 minutes to
So
go.
All right.
Rick's fillets are done. His trout's on the plate already.
Yeah.
He's just
All
finishing
right.
You
up
can
his.
see here that it's got some brown on the top, and I want that skin to be nice and crispy like that.
So the camera
Yeah.
that. Yep. So kind of brown and crispy on the
That's
top.
right.
You're looking for that color.
Yeah.
You never turned them over. You just left it on
I
the skin.
didn't, because this is such a delicate and thin piece of fish. If you cook it all on one side, that side that is opposite is going to be just perfectly moist because of what we call carryover cooking. A lot of people don't plan for this. But if you take it off like 3/4 of the way done, most things will actually continue cooking to that perfect stage of doneness.
Okay, out of the oven comes the salt and crusted fish.
Yep.
You're feeling confident as Rick plates now his chorizo and onions on top of the trout. I'll get out of your way here. I'll turn this oven off here. He's going right across the middle. And now how are you breaking this up? With a little, you're just going right down the middle, Adam?
Right down the middle with my spatula.
Oh, cool.
Gonna pull it off. Pull off that crust.
It's at this point you hope that it's cooked because
Yeah.
it's difficult to go back with the
Yeah.
salt and go back in the oven with about 2
You
minutes to
can,
go.
you can, but you know,
All right.
it's not.
And how do you prevent it from being too salty? You're going to take the outer edge off?
I'm just gonna take the outer edge off,
Okay.
and I'm not gonna serve. Like I said, none of that gets served.
And
how
look at how he
beautiful
just
that
pulled
is.
that skin off the outside. Wow, that's really cool. This is a really quick recipe. I mean, I'm impressed that he
Super
chose to do this. He's just now, of course, here's the technique.
Yeah.
Yep,
All
spoon
those
and
beautiful
fork.
aromatics, and you see how it's steaming on the inside.
And it's
lemon
cooked just the way
slices.
I try and get it to be cooked.
Yeah,
Scrape off any of these extra bones.
yeah. The ones at the
And-
very top.
And
that
is this
you
something
find
you
a lot.
Is this something you do in your class at Eataly?
I have done it, yes.
Wow.
I've done it with a salmon and a wild striped
Oh,
bass,
it's so
actually.
beautiful.
Look at that! Wow.
So I'm just going to do
impressive.
that.
So it steams with all those aromatics and those
steams with
lemon and
aromatics,
everything.
and
really
it's just
beautiful
it's steamed. It's not salted. It's
Right.
it's. In fact, you know, when you do this correctly, you're going to want to actually add a few extra, add a little bit of pinch of Malden or sea salt or something, just to finish that up.
Okay, so you got your zucchini here, capers in the cast iron skillet. We're less than 30 seconds to go.
Oh
it
my
looks like.
goodness! All right.
All right, about
All right.
10 seconds actually, I've been told. So here comes the plating.
We have,
Just in time.
we have a beer for you when you're ready.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
gotta-
use up all that beer.
He's gonna just add his little. What's the sauce called again?
This is called salmorillo. Salmorillo.
Beautiful. And time is up. Impressive. Well done.
Beautiful.
Well done. Two very different dishes. All right, let's dig in. This looks great. And before
Grab a
they
fork.
get
All right.
cold, our guest first.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, yep.
I'm pulling it over here because I want to
Okay.
get a little
All right,
bit of
okay.
all that stuff. It is so
Wow,
beautifully
it's really
cooked.
tender.
I love it.
It's medium rare in the middle where it's thicker, which I like. I mean, that's intended, yeah?
Yeah. It's one of these techniques that if you do it well done all the way through, the tail's going to be kind of dry and mealy, and so will the belly, and the center will be succulent. So it's how you want. I always go for a little medium rare, and
Yeah.
then
Well,
keep
and
everything
with
juicy.
this fish
Right.
cooked in that fashion, it's sort of steamed, and so it gets this very succulent texture. It'd be completely different than what the texture of
Yeah,
mine.
and delicate, and when there's lemon, and then I'm going to get some capers now.
No, everybody needs to know that this is not a salty dish. The salt
Right.
only protects the fish and sort of it gives it that protective barrier so it can steam on the inside.
Very nice. All right,
Okay.
now Rick's. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of the side here. I want to get a little bit of the chorizo, maybe, and the onion too. I don't want to take too big of a piece. But your intention here is crispy skin, yeah? Mm-hmm. Make sure I get
I just wanted to have something that would sort of stand up to the heartiness of the chorizo mixture that's here, and I knew that crispy skin would do that.
It's such a delicate fish. It kind of takes whatever you do with it. So
Exactly.
right, the
They're
oregano
completely
and
different.
lemon is such a different flavor
Right.
than this sort of hearty beer-reduced
Right.
chorizo, richer,
It's really
but
delicious.
delicious dish.
Yeah, they're completely different and really show a different
eat
side
some of this.
of trout.
So both recipes are going to be on our website, thefeedpodcast.com. You can, of course, see all the video at thefeedpodcast.com, but also on our Facebook page and YouTube channel at The Feed Podcast. Adam Weisell from Eataly, thanks so much.
so much.
Thank you very much.
What a
Appreciate
pleasure
it.
to have
I
you
really
here.
All right.
appreciate it.
Grazie.
Prego.